Welcome, my name is Laura Reese, and I'm the founder of the Kindness Matters 365 Foundation. You are our ambassadors. You are the heart and soul of this foundation. You are our kindness givers, our educators, and leaders. You have the power to teach and inspire the next generation about taking care of themselves, taking care of each other, and taking care of our world. So a little bit of background about KM365. In 2008, I started it as an after-school kindness club at my daughter's elementary school in South Florida. We became a 501c3 nonprofit. We grew to encompass over 100 programs in 12 states nationwide pre-pandemic. We've trained over 700 ambassadors just like yourselves and have impacted the lives of thousands of kids around the world, pre-K through college. Because of you, we will spread this important programming even further. We educate thousands of children in our after-school kindness clubs, our in-school classroom programs and assemblies, Kindness on the Move with our Kindness Mobile program. We are in summer camps and so much more. During your training, you will be learning how to run your own special program in coherence with the kindness framework. And that's really important because when you do, you will be guiding children to explore how to be more resilient and cope with challenges, have better mental well-being, how to relate to others, improve academic achievement, engage our communities to problem solve, give back to people, animals, and our planet, and to feel their best and to be their best. It seems hard to believe that through your KM365 program, you can teach all of these things, but the research shows it is true. It happens. And all of these things that you are sharing will help these kids now and for the rest of their lives. I've seen it work. I've seen the difference it makes for our children, no matter where you are creating your program, whether it's in school, online, in a summer camp, in the workplace, in your home, or anywhere else in your community. Please realize that you are creating a life-changing, important dialogue for all ages, religions, all financial situations, colors, genders, all political beliefs, everyone together. We are going to build stronger people, safer communities, a better world. Okay, let's get into the training. We trust that you will always play and create within the kindness framework so that your program will not only be fun, but so that it will achieve the outcomes that are intended. We also hope that you and your program will always support the Kindness Matters 365 Foundation and give back where you can, so that we can continue our important work and be here to support you and all future generations. My heart is filled with gratitude for your valuable energy, your time, your love. We have so much to do, and I'm super excited for what we will create together. Thank you.
Connection before content. Connections are not just beneficial, they are essential. Before you guide folks to explore the monthly topics, you'll want to create connection so everyone is open to process and share. Expecting everyone to dig deep, share authentically, and go all in before establishing a connection with each other is like trying to bake a cake without preheating the oven. The ingredients are there, but it won't turn out as well. Now, let's talk about connection in 3 ways. Connection with yourself, connection to the topics, and connection with each other. Connection starts with you. Connect with yourself to be aware of what's going on inside. Then, a little self-navigation to help you feel and be your best. In order to be doing acts of gratitude, compassion, and kindness, we first have to get to a state of being that is grateful, compassionate, and kind. What it means to you when planning. How is it relevant to you, and how can you present it to the kids so they can discover how it is relevant to them? Connecting with each other helps everyone be engaged, open, and collaborative. It builds trust and understanding, and it supports open minds and willingness to learn, which all leads to more meaningful outcomes. After you connect, The wonderful content you explore together will create space for amazing discovery. Now, let's start with an exercise so that we can experience connecting with yourself together. What's your speed? On a scale of 1 to 100 miles per hour, how fast are you going right now? Just notice and remember the number. Now, I invite you to connect with your breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose only. When you inhale, imagine there's a balloon inside your belly. As you inhale, imagine that balloon is expanding. Place your focus and attention on that balloon. When your mind wants to pull away, bring it back to the balloon, inhaling while expanding it and exhaling while contracting it. Now take a few more breaths. Look at your speedometer again. On a scale of 1 to 100 miles per hour, how quickly are you going now? After a few conscious breaths, were you able to slow yourself down or speed yourself up? With strategies like this, we connect with ourselves so we can feel calm and be focused. We can then connect with each other. And when we're connected, we are able to get and give our best when exploring, discovering, and creating. So we are now teaching ready and learning ready. Now that you have connected with yourself, you can connect with the content and connect with each other. There are so many reasons why people want their kids to get involved with Kindness Matters 365. Many of us love the idea of teaching our kids to be kind, having our children and teens take an active role in community service, and helping our kids to learn about having gratitude and compassion for themselves and others. We like to think that most people want their kids involved in KM365 so their child will be a part of a community that encompasses it all. Because you are a part of the KM365 family, you already know how important kindness and giving back to others is. But did you know our program is so much more? Kindness Matters 365 is a well-oiled machine. Come take a look under the hood to see the engine that powers all your programming here at KM365. All programming, from our clubs to our classroom programs, from our social media posts to our service project ideas, is based on a comprehensive, intentional plan. Okay, so we all want our kids to have the skills they need to be happy, successful humans. But did you know that these skills are also important? Because research has shown that if we don't teach our kids these things at the most extreme, they can contribute to bullying, dropping out of school, suicide, and even acts of violence. And it's proven that the earlier kids learn these skills, the more likely they are to be successful in all aspects of their lives, now and when they grow up. As far as hands-on service projects, well, Benjamin Franklin said it best. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. Sometimes our projects help kids learn something about themselves. Sometimes the kids discover how to make the healthy decisions for themselves and when relating to others. And sometimes they will engage in community problem solving and impactful service projects. KM365 helps guide ambassador leaders to create plans and projects so our kids will have fun, be involved, and will really get the importance of taking care of themselves and our world. Now, we're going to give you a deeper look into two parts of the engine, the topics and the service learning areas. calendar of kindness reoccurs every year, so kids can dive a little deeper each year as they continue to grow. Siblings of all ages in other KM365 programs will all be experiencing the same monthly topics. And parents can follow KM365 on social media, which will be loaded with info on the monthly topics too, so families can explore the topics at home together. 2. The service learning areas. Your meetings and projects will always address one of 3 service areas: people, animals, or our planet. So, one month, if you decide to address the service area of people, you might be discussing ways to treat yourself with kindness. You might have a speaker from an organization such as Forgotten Soldiers, or you could support our neighbors through a local food bank. Another month, you might choose to focus on animals. So you might engage a speaker from the Humane Society, visit a horse rescue, or create an awareness campaign to save the whales. Yet another month, you could decide the planet will be your service area. You might plan a beach cleanup, hear from a Greenpeace speaker, or have a discussion and project around global warming. If you are a seasoned ambassador, you will continue to help the kids explore and discover important life skills to help them be their best selves and to be in community with our community. If you're starting your very first program with KM365 and feel excited or maybe even unsure about how what's under the hood applies to your meetings, don't worry. Part of your training will lead you through how easy it is to create with the KM365 Kindness Framework. The framework is the engine that powers everything you will create as a KM365 ambassador. Your hands-on projects will serve people, animals, or our planet. The KM365 Kindness Framework gives kids the opportunity to build life skills, explore relevant topics, and participate in impactful community engagement. Thanks for taking a look under the hood, so you can see why even though your kids think they are just having a great time, you are actually teaching them skills they can use to become happy, healthy human beings. We are sure you will get as much out of it as the kids do, and maybe even a little bit more.
Dido Bala here. As an executive board, we've been thinking about the importance of having clear, concise values that we follow to inform who we are, how we show up, and how we lead our programs. One of those values is DEIB, or diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. But what exactly is that? Let's go step by step. Diversity is the idea of having people who represent different groups around you. So when you look around yourself, whether it be in a program with Kindness Matters 365, or at home, or at work, does everybody look like you, sound like you, think like you, etc., etc.? So it's a matter of race, gender, but also religion and beliefs and different abilities. So the more diverse the environment, the better. So again, look around you and see if people are different. That's the diversity. The equity has to do with how fair we are towards people. Now, folks tend to think about equality and equity and think it's the same thing, but it's not. Equality means giving the same thing to everybody, but equity means giving to folks what they need to be successful. For example, if I ask you to do a race and it's a bicycle race, but you can use a bicycle, but your friend who's also on the race is disabled and cannot be on a bicycle, that wouldn't work for them. Or if I give you a task which consists of looking around you and finding different colors, but your sister is colorblind, it would not be an equitable task. So you need to find a way to make things fair. So if everybody's barefoot and we all need pairs of shoes, and I give everybody size 10, that's only fair to those who are size 10. In order for me to be equitable, I should give pairs of shoes, but make sure that everybody has the pair of shoes that fits them. That's equity. Inclusion is about making folks feel welcome and appreciated. So if we are all different and we are treated fairly, it's not enough. It needs to be important. It's important for us to make sure that folks who are around us feel included. They aren't just here because they are performing a task or because we want to look a certain way. We actually value their perspectives, their opinions. And finally, belonging is to create a true sense of we want you here, you belong here, you make decisions with us. So it's no longer just being there and being included, but it's about being part of the team from beginning to end, from top to bottom. So the best metaphor I have for DEIB is one of going to a party. If you go to a party and you invite folks from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, belief systems, religions, you have diversity. If you go to the party, people look very, very different. They represent a diverse world. That's one. Equity means that if you have a friend who's on a wheelchair, they need the ramp to go up and get to your apartment, or an elevator. Just having stairs would not be equitable because stairs only work for folks who can use stairs. So you have your equity there. Your inclusion means that once they get to the party, if you have music, you invite them to dance, to include them on the dance floor. Because if they just come to your party but are sitting outside or on a patio or in a kitchen when some folks are dancing, that's not being included. Invite them to join the party. But then the belonging means that you think about them so much that they have a seat at the table. When you are making the playlist, when you are choosing what dish, what food to have, you think about them, you talk to them, they give you their opinion. So in that kind of party, you have diversity of people. You have equity because you make sure that everybody is treated fairly. You have inclusion because everyone feels invited to join the fun, the party, the dancing. But also you have belonging so that the people themselves who you invited feel as if they were part of the entire creation. This is a tough concept to understand. And the first thing is to just understand what it means in your own life and start to look around you to see if you can identify ways in which you can foster more diversity, more equity, more inclusion, and more belonging. Do some research on this as well and start having conversations. And then the goal is to have every single program that we have be informed by this lens. It's an amazing journey, and it's an infinite journey. You're never quite going to be done. It's a forever journey, and it's one that you hopefully want to take with us. Enjoy the journey.
Your program can be in a school or university, a summer camp, your workplace, a community center or library, a place of worship, or anywhere that makes sense to you. You can create a free after-school club, a school elective, enrichment program, something that is part of your school's curriculum, or any other type of program that will fit best for you and your community. Once you have completed this training, you will have access to a private ambassador dashboard with a ton of information to run your kindness program. You can see sample lesson plans and access to our kindness curriculum to help you design your lesson plans. There are flyers, speaker suggestions, project and fundraising ideas, certificates of appreciation, contact information, and so much more. You can connect to other kindness ambassadors all around the world, and you have an ambassador support team at ambassadorsupport@kindnessmatters365.org for anything you need. Your world is about to expand, and we are here to fully support you. Throughout the rest of your training, we will walk you through 5 steps to running your kindness club, and they are: number 1, enrolling your administration and support people; number 2, club setup and kindness curriculum; number 3, speakers and sponsors; number 4, running your club; and number 5, kindness.
We'll be going over the logistics for all kindness programs and how to accomplish what you need to. What you must have to start a kindness program, especially if in a school setting, is at least one ambassador that has successfully completed this kindness training, administration approval for wherever your program will be presented, and a teacher or a staff member support. This is someone who will be at every meeting with you. It's ideal if this person also goes through the training, but it's not mandatory.
Enrolling support from your organization.
In this video, we will be going over enrolling administration, your support person or group of people, and the participants.
One of the first things you want to do is to make sure you have the go-ahead and support of the place you're going to be holding the kindness program.
Whether your program operates out of a school, camp, library, workplace, community center, place of worship, or somewhere else, you'll need to have approval and support.
Your support person and approvals will look different for various programs. In a school, you need approval from a principal, headmaster, dean, or administration. And you must have a teacher, staff member, or adult sponsor who will attend all meetings. Your support can make sure your club gets approval at the school, help you coordinate meetings with the school calendar, and help with school details like required permission slips, speaker approvals, fundraiser forms, and tons of other stuff. Enrolling club members and involving families.
Once your school, camp, workplace, or organization is enrolled, you want to now share and communicate to your student body, participants, families, and invite everyone to join.
If you haven't already enrolled your school, organization, teacher, or staff support, here are some things you can do. Share everything you are learning during this training. Share our website. They'll find a ton of information, videos, and photos of the amazing impact we're having in various communities across the country. On the website, under Get Involved, we have documents that you can download and personalize. This includes pieces that explain who we are, why we're different from other clubs, and more information to help you get your kindness program approved. If there's something you need but don't see, contact Ambassador Support at ambassadorsupport@kindnessmatters365.org. Remember, you can always contact us if you need help.
Work with administration and your support person about school-wide announcements, social media shares, email blasts, flyers, sign-up sheets, and any other types of communication that will help you get the word out.
You will find many sample flyers and forms on your ambassador dashboard to help you communicate and share the program.
Invite participants, families, and anyone involved to join our Kindness Matters 365 social media pages, email groups, and any other form of communication you create, so everyone can be updated on meeting plans, weekend give back service projects, and upcoming activities, and get more involved.
Communication in social media is a really important tool in spreading this movement and keeping everyone involved. When we discuss ambassador dashboard requirements, you will be asked to send your calendar of events and participant contact information to us so that we can keep our entire kindness community connected and up to date with what's going on with your program and all of our programs around the world. You are now part of creating world kindness and keeping us all connected. Club setup. Once you have become a certified ambassador, enrolled your administration, and identified your support person, it's now time for your club setup. A few things to consider and decide on.
Choose the format. Will you be a once-a-month after-school club part of the curriculum, a once-a-week special, or a community movement. Work with your administration and support team to decide what is best for you. As an after-school club, you might meet once a month. As part of the curriculum at school, the entire school might go through the Kindness Matters programming. At your summer camp, you might create service projects every Friday afternoon, and at your workplace, you might collect donations for a different local charity once a month and do a service project together once a year.
Decide on how many members. The location and format are two big deciding factors as to how many participants you will have. For example, if you are an after-school club in the media center, you might have 50 participants. If you are a once-a-month school-wide assembly, you can offer this to the entire school. During the day in the gymnasium, and if you are implementing this as part of the mandatory curriculum, you can offer this to every child through the speaker system or cycle everyone through a special class. In the workplace or summer camp setting, everyone can easily be involved.
Flyers should be approved by administration.
How many leaders and or support members will you need, and what functions they will perform? It is extremely helpful when you find others to support and contribute. Create a team who can contribute different things to the club, highlighting their own interests and or strengths. Someone can plan and run the meetings. Someone else can communicate with and coordinate your speakers. Someone can handle social media and communications. Someone else can collect and organize donations. You get the idea. Creating a kindness team can provide a lot of support and camaraderie.
Your ambassador dashboard provides you with a plethora of contact from years of running successful kindness programs, all wrapped up into information you need all ready for you.
Most clubs find it helpful to plan the entire year out in advance using their dates, drives, and events format. Now, we realize that doesn't always work for everyone, and if it doesn't work for you, it's okay to plan at your own pace and what works for your school.
We recommend that the first meeting be used as a set the stage. Create an introduction to welcome your new members and communicate that the intention of the program is for everyone to acknowledge their personal gratitude, be inspired by the speakers, and consider the many different ways they can contribute to the community and the world right now.
For the last meeting of the year, some clubs have a wrap-up session with our official certificates of participation, also found on your dashboard. Gratitude celebrations, maybe talking about what's next, having a recap of the year, giving out honor cords, and more. Moving on to requirements for your club. There must be at least one trained ambassador for every club. You can have more, but we recommend no more than 4.
There must be at least one teacher, staff member, and or adult support for every school club meeting.
You'll set up your passcode and have access to your ambassador dashboard when this training is complete.
Be sure to visit your dashboard often and make sure to complete all of the checklist items. Our kindness logos and materials are copyrighted. You can either buy official kindness merchandise on our website, custom order through us, or get approval to use our logos on something you create. Contact Ambassador Support if you have any questions. Ambassador Support at kindnessmatters365.org.
If there is an incident or accident during any Kindness Matters event or meeting, you have to report it immediately to us. The incident report form is located on your ambassador dashboard along with instructions. You should always have incident report forms on hand at your meetings and events.
A permission to photograph, video, and share form is on your ambassador dashboard, and you must have a signed consent form for all participants.
There's an important conversation all ambassadors need to be mindful of, and one that we can share with our groups. It's a conversation about the importance of being kind online. Our posts, tweets, blasts, and everything we communicate needs to embrace the kindness that we are teaching. Please always remember the importance of this. There's a guide and resources on your ambassador dashboard for more information and for sharing about kindness in social media. If you can't access your dashboard or just want to connect the old-fashioned way over the phone, you can always call 562-KIND-101 or email ambassadorsupport@kindnessmatters365.org. Okay, club setup, core curriculum, and requirements, check. Let's move on to other areas of your training.
Finding speakers and service organizations to prepare and sponsors and fundraising. The speakers are one of the more important parts of your program as they play a major role in educating and inspiring your members. They are an important introduction and tie between you and the service organizations in your communities, and they serve as an opportunity to start having participants think about how they can be a part of giving back now. When choosing speakers and service organizations to do projects with, your Kindness curriculum on your dashboard has a list of organizations and project ideas for you. You can use this list directly or as a way to find similar local speakers for your group. Make sure the speakers, organizations, projects, or materials chosen are appropriate. Meaning, make sure your speakers are like-minded, giving back in some way. If there is any question, please contact Ambassador Support for your guidance. When approaching a service organization, remember they may not know about us yet and that we are different from other groups. Share our mission statement and website. Invite them to join your meeting to talk about what their organization does to give back. Tell their story, what inspired them to serve. The intention is that your participants are inspired to start thinking about finding their own ways to give back. With the high school and older programs, create an off-campus weekend service project with them to get more involved outside of the school and into their community. Our programs serve local organizations as a way of celebrating them, spreading their important message, and possibly enrolling volunteers. If you are going to be donating or collecting items or money for an organization, that organization should be a nonprofit. Always work with them to learn what you and your participants can do to support them. What hands-on projects would give back, what items to collect, best way to spread kindness, and so on.
So you may have an in-person speaker that's coming to your meeting location, or you may have a speaker connecting with you via video conferencing. You also might choose a pre-recorded video of a speaker from your Ambassador Resource Library. Now, if you have an in-person speaker, you're going to want to do a couple of things to take care of them. Be sure to send a welcome email as well as a reminder email a day or two prior. In the reminder email, be sure to include driving directions as well as parking instructions. We all know that the end of a school day dismissal parking lot can be crazy. So any tips and tricks you can provide to your speakers to make that a little bit easier is really appreciated. Also, be sure to have someone meet your speaker, either at the front of the school or in the front office. You can guide them through the sign-in process and escort them to the meeting location. If you're doing a collection drive for your speaker's organization, be sure to get their latest and greatest wish list. That way, whatever items you collect will be what they really need at that time. Now, if you're going to have a video conference speaker, whether it's Zoom or some other video conference software, be sure to test and share your link prior to the meeting. Also, be sure to provide a backup call-in number. That way, if they have any trouble with the Zoom link or they can't get connected, they'll be able to call in and still work with you guys and get their message. Now, don't panic if you have a last-minute cancellation, Zoom link doesn't work, or you have a no-show speaker, because what we have for you on the Ambassador Resource Library is a whole variety of different speakers, pre-recorded videos that are available to you at any time.
Sponsors and fundraising. Some aspects of our clubs and foundation requires money for resources and supplies. Educating and inspiring kindness for generations to come benefits everyone, and many businesses and people are proud to have the opportunity to financially support what we do. There are a few options to consider while brainstorming sponsorship and fundraising.
Ask Kindness Club family members if they would like to donate to your club or our foundation.
Ask local businesses you frequent or a family within your school or community who may be willing to sponsor or adopt your club. Adopt a Club forms are found on your dashboard as well.
Asking for larger donations, you can add their logo to the back of your Kindness Matters Club t-shirts.
See our Ambassador dashboard for more ideas, sample flyers, and donation letters.
If you choose to take on the fundraising aspect, think about how you will manage the money. If you're in a school, you might have an account through the PTA or school treasurer. If you work with a camp or community club, work with administration to create an account for you. You will need to work with and be mindful of your organization's policies around accounts, reimbursement forms, and so on. If you need support with this, contact Ambassador Support. Remember that our foundation requires resources to help us support you and grow the kindness movement as a whole. The Kindness Matters Foundation appreciates any donations and fundraisers that support our mission. And we're a 501c3, so donations are tax deductible.
Logistics have been covered, and just to be clear, to start a kindness program, number one, you must have at least one ambassador that has successfully completed this kindness training. Number two, you must have administration approval. And number three, you must have a teacher and or staff member support. That covers enrolling everyone, setup, kindness curriculum, and requirements, speakers, sponsors, and fundraising. You can Always access your Ambassador dashboard for all of this information, or contact Ambassador Support at kindnessmatters365.org. We are always here for you.
Now we get to move on to your specific age running of the club.
Number one, first and really important, you need at least one adult support. Why do you need adult support? You are totally capable of running your club, but let's face it, you are in high school and you're busy. The adults are here to support you with your plan and guide you with challenges that might come up with your peers. It's important for you to lead and also learn how to become strong leaders, work together, and get important work done. The adults will be really helpful with supporting you.
Our adult support could be a parent, a teacher, someone from administration, guidance counselor. You get the point. Just make sure they're with you at every meeting and that they go through the kindness training as well and understand our commitment and mandatory format so they can best support you.
Number 2, the club format. Work with your adult support and pick a format or way you want to present and run your meetings. Also, choose a meeting location. Most often it's your teacher support's room, time to meet, like during lunch or after school, and dates for your meetings so they can be put on our Kindness Matters website and your school's calendar.
Your format might be where you identify some different nonprofits you're interested in. Then you invite speakers to engage in a dialogue about their organization, the issues they address, and what inspired them to get involved. Your group might then create a project to support the nonprofit's cause. You can create your own club format to accomplish something extraordinary in the world by addressing something relevant and important to your group. Next are some examples of what these students did in their clubs.
We meet during lunch, but could only meet for 30 minutes at a time. We meet the first Tuesday of every month just to keep it consistent, and we use that time to plan for one monthly weekend service project. For example, one Saturday in October, we served food at a local food kitchen. Leading up to that event, all of our meetings were to create our plan to get the whole school involved in coming. We created signs and announcements to promote awareness about hunger in our community, and we planned and collected cans of food items to donate to the food kitchen upon our arrival. The club officers worked in between meetings to coordinate with the food kitchen and to make sure we had the supplies needed. They also communicated between each other to make sure that our kindness lunch meetings were well attended and that we had all of the information needed and we could get what we needed done.
We had our meeting after school for about an hour and had meetings every other month where a speaker came and talked with us about their nonprofit. We then planned a weekend, off-campus give-back project event together. Most of the time, the foundations came in with a date, an event already planned, like Susan Komen with the walkathon or Build a House with Habitat for Humanity. Other times, we created the date and event at the meeting. For example, Boca Helping Hands came to speak and we planned a date for the next month and created the food packing and serving food for the homeless event. Throughout the school year, we learned about 7 different organizations, created and joined in on 5 weekend give-back projects, and got the whole school involved. It was amazing. We also earned about 35 community service hours and had fun doing it.
We meet once a month during lunch to plan all of our support and acceptance events and weekend service events. We meet September through May, and for each of the 9 meetings, a different officer is responsible for contacting a group agreed upon organization and leading the discussion at the meeting about what service project and date our kindness group will be giving back to that organization.
We create a community fundraiser every year to give back to Kindness Matters. They're the reason why we get to run these leadership programs, and they need our financial support too. One year we had 3 different local high school club members get together to plan a big event with all the proceeds going back to Kindness Matters.
We plan events and speakers to help spread the message of accepting one another's differences and seeing the connection we all have to one another. We've done this by having speakers come to talk to our group, like the executive director of the ADL, an organization that protects civil rights, allowing us to support that organization and spread social awareness and social responsibility messages all around our school and our community. To spread awareness, we come up with slogans, work to create Snapchat campaigns, plan events to post notes across the school with positive messages, and we have even sent candygrams to random students at school for Valentine's Day, many of whom otherwise may not have received any kindness on that day. Our goal is always to understand the mission of the charity or social action group we are seeking to support, create effective campaigns to address a relevant issue for all of us, and make a positive difference. Through our participation and actions, we've learned that life is a collaborative effort, and by working with each other, we help ourselves and others become better, stronger, and more aligned with each other.
Okay, you get the idea. The goal for your club is to have all students work together to create an experience. Think about what format you'd like to have for your club based on what will be the most effective. You can choose a format like one you've just heard about. You can check out the list of suggested club meeting format options on your Ambassador dashboard, or you can create your own based on the Kindness curriculum. You can always reach out to Ambassador Support for help.
Community service hours. Kindness participants receive service hours for club meetings, weekend give back projects, and any time spent working on, planning, collecting, and coordinating Kindness events.
Enrolling club members. Lots of different ways to enroll your peers. Word of mouth is oftentimes the most effective way, so invite your friends and their friends to join. You can share on school announcements, set up a table at Club Rush, or use social media to get the Kindness word out. Work with your adult support to get the required permission slips, contact information that you will use to put a group remind or chat together for reminders and updates, and photo release forms signed along with anything else your school requires. All required forms for Kindness Matters are on your Ambassador dashboard.
The club structure. At your first meeting, welcome everyone and explain the goal and structure of your club and commitment to really giving back to those in need. Encourage everyone toward finding their own ways to give back and remind them that we all have the power in us to make positive change today and for the future.
Hold on just a minute. All of this talk about taking care of others is really beautiful, but it's important to pause for a minute and remember that in order to take care of others in our world, we have to start by taking care of ourselves. High school can present some challenging times. Busy schedules, stressful classes and tests, jobs, dealing with friendships, social situations, and even just navigating our world. All of this while preparing for what comes after high school. This is one of the most important times to really be sure you're taking care of yourself, so that you are prepared to handle whatever comes your way with calm and clarity, and so that you can be and feel your best. KM365 programming and everything you have at your fingertips with the Ambassador dashboard and the resource library was designed to teach kindness to ourselves, others, and our world. And it works. Okay, back to the structure of a meeting.
One of the things you want to accomplish at your first meeting is selecting your officers. See the list on your Ambassador dashboard to work with and create so the work is distributed. Some of the most important officer positions will be President, who should be a trained ambassador, Vice President, would be nice if they were trained but not mandatory, Secretary, Treasurer, and Social Media Officer. Use your adult support to help figure out a process that is fair and kind and considers everyone's strengths. The club will run best if most qualified person is doing their job, and the goal is to all work together so the club is all-inclusive and empowering for everyone. There might be a voting process, lottery, or writing an essay as to why you think you're the person for the position. Get creative and make it fun and fair.
Along with your adult support and teacher sponsor, you can decide what you'd like to do about club shirts. You can be in touch with Ambassador Support at kindnessmatters365.org to create and order custom shirts for your club, maybe with your school logo or a hashtag if you come up with one. Our school mascot is a bull, so we added our logo to the back of the shirt and came up with hashtag Bulls Don't Bully, just an idea. Or have the students go individually to the website to order their own shirts. We like to wear our shirts to the meetings and the weekend give back events, and sometimes the school yearbook picture.
Using your chosen meeting format, remind your members about the meetings, sending flyers, text, emails, social media posts, the Remind app, make announcements on the PA system, or any other form of communication that works for your club. These can be sent anytime 1 week to the day before each meeting. And make sure to complete your required post-event report on your Ambassador dashboard.
Number 5. Other important stuff we have learned along the way.
Some kindness groups organize support and acceptance events at school, which are so much fun. They get us all creating together and working together to brighten each other's day by spreading supportive, anonymous messages to the entire student body. One way we do this is by leaving sticky notes with powerful, positive, supportive, and funny sayings that we leave on the students' lockers, backpacks, or desks all around the school. How could you not smile when you head to your locker after a tough class only to find a special note? There are more ideas for support and acceptance events on your dashboard.
Idea Box. We meet in the Media Center after school where the Idea Box stays. This provides an opportunity for anyone to be heard and express their ideas in a safe and confidential way. Some really amazing ideas have come out of that box, implemented into our meetings, and we shared some of the ideas with Ambassador Support so that they are able to pass them along to other clubs.
Kindness videos. On your Ambassador dashboard, you will find kindness video content provided for you to send out to your group as a source of inspiration. These videos will be new every month and a tool to continue to spread inspiration and positive change throughout your school and community. Make sure you log onto and do what is required on the Ambassador Dashboard checklist, with adding your dates to the calendar, sending us your club email contact information, and filling out your meeting reporting form. In order to document the impact you and we as a movement are having in the world, we must collect this information.
Always remember, you are part of a global movement of inspiring kindness. From that place of leadership, remember you have what it takes to inspire and lead. Get creative. Come up with a new idea for the meeting, a new place to meet, work with your fellow ambassadors, classmates, and adult support. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Get playful, be confident, and lead the kindness.
Hi, I'm Sally Berensweig, the co-founder and executive director of KidSafe Foundation. And I'm so excited to partner with Kindness Matters to bring you KidSafe safety training. This training will help you in your leadership role as kindness ambassadors to provide guidelines to keep not only the children you work with safe, but yourself safe as well. Safety for you and the children is the #1 priority, and there will be many opportunities you will have through your experience to guide, teach, and be a positive role model to the children in your club. My goal is to provide you with the knowledge and skills to help keep yourself and the children you work with safe. So these are some guidelines that I want you to follow. The following recommendations will help you. KidSafe uses a language of safety that creates a safe, supportive, and communicative environment. Let's discuss 2 examples of our language of safety that you can utilize in your club meetings. Every child needs to know that there is a trusted adult they can turn to if they have a problem, they feel confused, they're worried, nervous, or scared. In KidSafe, we call that the circle of safe adults. And right now, your kids in your club may consider you a trusted adult that is in their circle. As a kindness ambassador, you are a role model for the children around you. A role model is a person whose behavior is imitated by others. As a kindness ambassador, your behaviors should be those that should be imitated by the children. The following are characteristics of a positive role model. Children feel safe when you lead by example. Act the way you want other people to act and treat people the way you want to be treated. Allowing the children to see how you work through a problem. Apologize and admit your mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Model that we can learn from our mistakes. Follow through. We want our children to not quit, keep their word, and finish what they start. If you don't follow through, they won't either. Show respect for staff and children. Make sure you're setting a tone of respect in your club. Be an active listener. What I mean by that is I want you to make eye contact. I want you to repeat back words that the children say to you so you make sure you're on the same page and that you're listening without judgment. As a kindness ambassador, you have a great opportunity to model helpful language and behavior. Never make fun of a child, even joking. Show you don't need to shout orders to be heard. Show that you intervene when people are being unkind. Show that you treat all adults and children with respect, and show you never gossip. A kindness ambassador will never touch a child. And what I mean by that is don't hug a child. What would be a better thing to do would be a high five or a fist bump. A kindness ambassador will never be alone with a child. A kindness ambassador will never manipulate a child into an activity. A kindness ambassador will never make fun of a child or an adult. A kindness ambassador will never ignore a child. A kindness ambassador will never yell. A kindness ambassador will never humiliate children. The children in your care are watching you. If you're positive, they'll be positive. If you're kind, they'll be kind. If you're respectful, they'll be respectful. The bottom line is you can decrease the risk of a child being harmed simply by actively participating in this training today. The children who are participating in the kindness clubs come from all races, creeds, colors, socioeconomic status, and sexuality. And some may be going through traumatic life experiences. I want to help you to be able to recognize the signs and symptoms of vulnerable children who may be in front of you. So, what makes a child vulnerable? Children with no safety education, children who feel unloved, children who want attention, children who have been taught to keep secrets, children who lack self-confidence and self-esteem, children who are always expected to obey authority no matter what, children who are loners. There are many signs and symptoms of vulnerable children who may be going through adverse child experiences. These are some of the signs that you might see in your setting. Problems walking or sitting, torn or dirty clothing, bruises, picking at skin or pulling hair or cutting. Some emotional signs are sadness and crying, depressed mood or mood swings, fear of people, difficulty trusting, anxiety, anger, or guilt and shame. These vulnerable children need your extra care and inclusion. I know it's really important for you to know how to respond to a child if they should report a safety issue to you. If this ever happens, you will stay calm. Don't make promises that you can't keep, like keeping what they're telling you a secret. Don't hug them. Instead, sit side by side and say, "You did the right thing by telling me. This is not your fault." We need to tell someone who knows more what to do and can help you stay safe. Unfortunately, children keep silent when they are suffering. So you will probably never get a disclosure. But as kindness ambassadors, you need to have your eyes wide open so you can be aware of what a child is trying to tell you. Now is a good time to mention the importance of confidentiality. Please only share the information with the people that need to know. As a kindness ambassador, you should always model respect for people's privacy. You are going to be a great kindness ambassador. Now let's put some of these skills to the test. What would you do if you see an adult behaving inappropriately with a child at your club? What I recommend is that you immediately go over and intervene by asking the adult, "May I have a word with you?" This will immediately stop the interaction. Say to the adult, "I'd like to talk to you after the club meeting." After the club meeting, discuss your observations and your concerns in a very respectful manner. And please keep this confidential. However, you will need to visit your ambassador dashboard and fill out an incident report to let your supervisor know. What would you do if you saw two children being unkind to each other in your club? I want you to remember not to single the children out. You can quietly separate the children without calling attention to them, and it's a very good time to sit down and have a kindness club meeting and explain what the kindness is all about. You're ready! So now I want you to imagine yourself as a kindness ambassador. You're in front of a group of students and you're being filmed and it's going to be on the news tonight. Ask yourself, am I creating a safe environment? Am I modeling behaviors that will keep children safe? Am I proud of the way I'm speaking? Am I being respectful? Am I being kind? Am I the best version of myself as a kindness ambassador? As you begin on this incredible journey of spreading kindness throughout the world, be the very best version of yourself for all the kids to see.
Here are some Kindness Matters 365 important reminders. 1. Watch a brief refresh module at the beginning of each year. 2. Sign your ambassador agreement at the beginning of each school year. 3. Get annual approval each year to run your program. 4. Get participant permission slips and photo release forms. 5. Share your participant parent/guardian contact information with Kindness Matters 365. Additionally, 6. Use your Kindness Matters 365 resource library to support your creating of amazing meeting plans. 7. Complete a report form after every meeting. 8. Share and tag your amazingness on social media. 9. Only use approved KM365 logos from the dashboard. And 10. Create a fundraiser to donate your $250 give back to Kindness Matters 365. Thank you so much for your support and dedication in helping to create a kinder and more compassionate world.